Okay, we're back. So let's get into this. First things first, let's work with these feet. Let's bring up the curves. So it looks like translate X. There's nothing, so let's get rid of that so it's not distracting us. Rotate Y and Z, there's nothing. Let's get rid of those. Okay. So let's just look through here. Doesn't look like it's going through the ground at all, which is great. Overall that looks pretty good, I think. Translate Y, okay, so let's get rid of these two. We might even be able to get rid of this one in here. So why do I do this? Why am I deleting these frames, keyframes here? The reason being is we want to have a nice smooth curve, okay? This line here needs to be as smooth as possible in order to get good interpolation, okay? So I could come in here and smooth it out like that, okay? That is an option which will work fine. But I can also, in this case, delete that and have the curve stay pretty similar. Now that did drop it a bit, but I don't think that will affect it too much. And if I'm worried about that, I can break the tangents. Where are we? Let's give us a bit more space here. And pull it back up a bit. Maybe even pull it up a bit here. So if I break this tangent. So one thing I haven't talked about yet is weighted tangents. And where are we? Here we go. So if I click on this one here. Oh, so it's locked at the minute. So let's select this guy. Where are we? So the error message I'm getting is that the curves are non-weighted. So what I need to do if I want to do this is I want to select the whole curve, go to curves, and click on weighted tangents. And you can see that changed the handles here. They've got a big dot on the bottom. So what that's going to allow me to do, let's frame this. Let's frame these two here. Is I can drag this guy. First I have to break you, and then I have to come over here and click free tangent weight, and now I can drag this guy forwards, and you can see that's affecting the ease in and ease out of the movement. Sometimes this works really good, sometimes it doesn't. I'll leave it here for now, just for an example for you guys. I'll just take it back a tiny bit. There we go. Right, let's move on. So let's focus on this guy. See, there's a couple of frames here that we can certainly mess around with. Let's first of all bring this guy down this way, and this guy up this way, make these curves a bit better. This one here we might be able to get rid of completely. Let's see what happens. It does go back a reasonable amount, so maybe we'll just smooth it out a bit. Let's go over to this guy. Let's see if we can delete this guy. Okay, that didn't really affect us too much. Let's go to the next one. Yep, I think that's passable, and let's try this last one here. Okay, definitely passable. That's great. Okay, rotate now. So these last two here, obviously we don't need. And the curve looks really good actually, so don't know if there's much, if anything, that we'll need to do. Again, I reckon if I delete this guy, we're going to lose this curve. So let's find him, let's delete him, and let's watch what happens. Yep. So in which case we'd need to play around with our curves here, maybe change it to free weighted, free tangent weight, so that I could stretch it out. But for now, like I said, that curve's looking really nice, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And there's only one more thing here that's keyed, and that's the heel ball. Delete these guys. Drag you up, and we'll drag you down. Perfect, good. Alright, it's one foot done, let's do the other foot. So again, let's translate X, we don't have anything. And I think it's rotate Y and Z, we don't have anything. So obviously all of these guys we don't have anything on either, so we can get rid of them. And I might just go back to the other foot, and we'll do that here as well. The reason I do this is that way I can select everything and I can see much simpler graph than if I had all of those other ones and there was all these straight lines and get a little bit confused. So translate Y. It's looking pretty good. And again, this time I think instead of using the free tangent weight, I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit. On the end here, let's drag you up. Like that. I think that's good. Next one. Now I know we did delete a whole bunch of these on the other foot, so let's go through, see what happens. First off, let's maybe change that a little bit. Let's see what happens when we delete this one. We might keep him. You know what? We might not. Let's just get rid of him. Let's go to the next one. And maybe even this next one. Yep, I like that. This guy here, let's see what happens. Yeah, no, that's the one we want to keep. So let's just straighten that. Smooth that line out a bit. That guy's done. Rotate now. And the only real way to get good at the graph editor is to just practice. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. It's that simple. So it's the foot dropping down, and the rotate kicks in here. Okay, I think that looks good. Alright, okay, cool, we'll take that. Ball roll. Let's get in here, delete this guy, don't need him, delete this guy, don't need him. Let's see what happens if we get rid of this guy. I think we'll keep him. Alright, that looks good. Okay, let's move on. So the next thing is going to be, let's do the hips. It's focused. Get rid of that. So let's get rid of these two. Let's start with translate Y. And looks like we have a nice curve going on here. So let's, because we want this to cycle, that's why I'm doing, sorry, I should mention that. That's why I'm doing these ones here, because I want it to cycle. I don't want it to ease into it. I want it to flow straight from the end here into this one here. So that's why I'm trying to match these guys up close as I can. Alright. Now let's see what happens if we delete this guy. That drops him down a little bit there. Yeah, no, we'll keep it. Let's go across this guy here. See if we can delete him. Yep, we can definitely get rid of that guy. Let's play it through. So what I think I've done there is we might need to keep this guy in here and just readjust this, because this is the corresponding key to this one. So if that line drops down a bit more, then we really need to drop these guys here down a bit more as well. So we'll just leave it for now, and let's just see if I can smooth these lines out a bit. Okay, let's go translate X. Now, which way is translate X? That's moving to the side. Let's frame this guy at the front here so we can see what we're doing. Alright, again, let's fix the start and the end up. Now, it looks like there's a lot of frames here that we can get rid of. This guy here, for example. Don't really think that's going to affect us, and this will be the corresponding one here, I think. So yep, that's what we want. In between here again, I think we can grab these guys and just blow them away, probably all three of them. Let's watch that through. Yep, that's looking good, and we may even have too much sway in that, too much side-to-side motion for the look we were going for. But yeah, we'll take it. That looks pretty good. I think I've probably given him a bit too much gait between his feet here. But we're not going to worry about that. I think that'll be fine. So rotate. Let's see what we've got going. So we've got a pretty funky looking curve going on here. Let's see what happens if I delete this guy. Not a whole lot, really. What about this guy? Nope, pretty much nothing. That's good. Let's do the corresponding ones as well. Alright, that worked out really nice. So that's that guy done. The next one will be the shoulders up here. So we can get rid of all of the translate information on this guy. Get rid of these two rotates. Okay. So we really don't need any of these either, so let's get rid of them. Okay. So this is a very similar curve to what we had for the hips, and it's a very similar motion. So I know that I can probably get rid of these two and these two without really affecting the animation too much. So let's delete those, smooth out our curve a lot. Let's just watch our animation through. I think that's looking alright. Let's just watch it from the right and double check. Good. Let's even go to our shot cam and watch it through. Alright, so you can see this is already looking a lot smoother than before. Okay, so let's go back to that shot cam. Let's finish this up. So the head doesn't rotate at all, so we don't need to play with any of that. There was some funky business going on with the eyes. So let's just watch it through again. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's happening. Certainly looks like that's a rotate problem, so doesn't look like there's any rotate information at all, so let's delete that. So it wasn't a rotate problem. Yeah, let's go back to the first keyframe here. Let's select everything. Let's delete all of you. We still get some funkiness going on. But you know what? I don't really think that's affecting where the eyes are looking. And the best way to see this is if we turn shaded mode on. Sorry, texture mode on. Which we will try and do if it doesn't crash Maya on us. There it is. And let's just watch it through. Okay, yep, I think that'll be fine. Don't think we need to worry about that. Let's turn that off. So last but not least, let's work on the arms. So let's grab this shoulder here. So get rid of all these translates. Not keyed any of that. Not keyed scale. Okay, so we have two pretty normal looking curves and one really crazy one. So let's start with these guys. Which way is that? That's side to side, so that's probably the biggest one's going to be this guy. So we'll start with this one, rotate Y. So what happens if we delete these guys here? Let's see what happens. Does move it a fair bit, doesn't it? I think really the two main ones we need to worry about is this one and this one. So let's delete both of those in there and both of those here. Yeah, both of those here as well, and we'll just play it through. Okay, I think we can live with that, can't we? I think we can definitely live with that. Alright, rotate Z, because again I think this one would be pretty easy to do but also very fundamental to the motion, so because it's going out there. And so these two in here I think we can get rid of. And maybe probably this one over here. And it's important when you're looking at this, make sure there's no intersection going on. That's looking pretty good so far. So that's all of these curves. Oh no, I think we didn't do the rotate X yet, have we? No. Okay, so I think the same thing is applicable here. We can, because the curve is identical to the other one, so there we go. Now I do want to move down to the elbow now, but before I do that, I'm just going to do the other arm here because it's should be almost identical, almost. So we'll get that shoulder out of the way. Yep, almost identical. So if I can delete these two and these two, we get a curve that looks very similar. Alright, good. And delete these three. Do we have intersection going on here? Let's see. Nope, looks like it passes pretty cleanly. That's good. Alright, that's great. Okay, good. Let's get down to the elbow. Almost finished here. So this guy looks like he doesn't have any animation on him at all. So we might need to go in and add some in now, I think. So let's try the most extreme forwards pose, which would be this one here. Select that guy, drag him this way just a bit. Then let's take the most extreme back pose. Which is probably this one. Straighten that out a bit. So I think this one here is probably going to be really easy to do. So then, I think if we grab these guys like this, delete all of them, let's see what we've done. We've got, so this is our passing pose here. So let's find our other passing pose, not passing contact pose, which is there. Right, so we would need to leave that in. So let's grab these two and this one. Maybe get rid of this as well. Not quite liking this. I think it's because of the keyframe here on the passing. It doesn't look too bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite getting the motion I want. It's very subtle, but I think I'll keep it. So I'm going to go over straight away and do the other one, so that I get something similar. So we want to get the most extreme pose, which is this one. And then this one. Okay, so then we want to get rid of these two. So let's see, what's this one? This is the contacts. So we have to leave that in there. So let's get rid of these two. These two, there we go. That's the curve we're looking for. Let's move this guy out. And again, it's very subtle, but it's definitely helps us a lot. Right, last thing we want to do is drag. So let's put the drag on these hands, which are already looking really smooth. So don't have any scale, so we can get rid of those. And let's get rid of the visibility because we don't have that. Alright. It's not too bad. What we could do is just fix the start and the end up. And again, I think start and the end for these, and I think we'll be right. And probably the same for this, I imagine. And we do have something else a bit funky going on here. Let's see if we can. This is where it goes there. Let's get rid of this guy. You know know what, we could probably even smooth this out a lot more. No, I think that looks great. Let's keep that. That handy's done. Let's go on to the next one. Let's do Y first. Get rid of those two. Let's see what happens if I get rid of this one. Yeah, we'll bring him back in. Okay, good. Rotate X, frame this up. This is where the weird stuff was going on, so let's take that. And Z. And which we could delete. I know we smoothed the other one out. Let's just double check what we did with that one. Like that, I believe. I think we're looking pretty good. Let's have a look-see. Let's go to the front for a second. Just make sure we don't have any sliding sideways. It looked a bit... Yeah, it looks like I've got a bit of sliding going on there with my foot. Yeah, definitely right there. So this happens sometimes and we need to go through and correct stuff. That is translate X. So where is this sliding happening? Doesn't look like there's sliding there, but from the front here it did. So let's see if we can find out where it is. There. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So they look the same there. There should not be any sliding going on there because all those numbers are the same and we do have a straight line. Let's just have a look. Oh, it's because I'm in the rotate. Okay, so it looks like don't have any translate X keyed. No translate X keyed. So let's go to the start. Let's key this guy. Oops, let's undo that. Let's just key selected. Let's expand this just so I can get to 25. Okay, he looks like he's keyed, so 25, and we'll just key selected there. Where are we? And now we have a straight line. So hopefully, still looks like we're getting some drift across here, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. Let's have a look at the other foot. Is there any drift in the other foot? There is drift in the other foot there as well. So I think the issue maybe there is no drift. Okay, there's definitely drift going on. I'm not sure where it's coming from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the translate X in this, and I'm just going to take it away completely. Let's go back to the front here, zero out that translate X, and I'm going to do the same thing with the feet. Translate X 0. Okay, so the drift is coming from the rotation from the hips. So I'm just going to let's put these values in here again. So I'm just going to key selected, key selected, and then I'm going to do the same thing because we want these guys to stay where they are, and we did want this guy to move side to side. So what I might do is I might take this guy's rotate Y, and we'll just delete him, see if that so it's still, I'm still getting that drift there, and I'm not quite sure why, because there shouldn't be any drift there. So for now I'm just going to leave it. Let's put our translate X back in this guy. So let's see. Translate X would be here. Okay, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on with that drift, but I don't think it's really going to affect the animation too much now. Sometimes you'll have things like that where it'll take a long time for you to troubleshoot them. But I think for the main part, we're looking pretty good. Alright, so let's head on over to our shot cam. Let's preview this. It's looking pretty good, so let's do our play blast. So let's call this guy spline so that we can know what's going on. Oh, so I did something wrong there, is I kept that frame 25 in there. I need to get rid of that, so can't really notice it too much here, but we'll do it anyway. Let's get rid of 25, so we're just on 24. Redo that play blast. Alright, there we go. Nice smooth walking animation.